What is going on, Lucid fans? Welcome back to Financial Journey. Today I want to give you a good overview of what we can expect from Lucid in the short term and some other factors that may influence the price as well. Outside of that, I want to talk on some epic news that just was announced for Lucid and again, what that means for us as investors. Before I get into any of that though, make sure you guys hit that thumbs up and subscribe is always greatly appreciated. With that, let's get right to it. So I'm going to start with the amazing news, and it is Time Magazine. So Time Magazine did put Lucid among the best inventions of 2022. So I feel like it's just one of those things that Lucid just seems to be getting all these achievements. And despite the price action that's been happening, we still have a very good diamond in the rough. So I think that's one very good takeaway, and it is the Dream Edition. So that's something that we already knew had amazing stats. And most recently during the Q3 earnings, especially more so at the beginning, Peter did go on roughly about a 2 to 3 minute rant all about technology and how that is a very pivotal part in Lucid's as far as the past and is going to be part of the future. And he absolutely loves technology. You can tell that he speaks with a very big passion. So I really do like that, and I completely agree that Lucid is going to be a very big tech company in the future, and the vehicles are a very good representation of that. So let me know your thoughts on that. Outside of that, we do have, as far as the short-term stuff that you need to factor in, we have our new launch event. That's coming out on the 15th, though, as you can see. So they will be showcasing the Airs, all different variations of that. And they're going to be announcing 2 different trims. So that is going to be the Air Touring and the Air Pure. They did also say in the actual Q3 earnings that they're going to be talking about the Gravity as well. Gravity is where I feel is going to be Lucid's bread and butter. This is going to be one of the biggest selling vehicles in maybe Lucid's history. I'm not sure, maybe that's a little bit early to talk on, but Gravity definitely has a very, very big demand. Even myself though, I feel that out of all the vehicles, the Gravity is the one that I am definitely very drawn to, because based on my lifestyle and everything like that, I feel the Gravity is what is meant for me. And typically I think, given the nature of where North America and Europe is moving towards, I think SUVs are extremely hot right now and probably will continue to be very hot. Keep in mind, I'm not a financial advisor, do your own due diligence at the end of the day. So I think right now Lucid's doing everything right as far as capitalizing on very much areas that have big demand, such as Gravities, and even more so on expansion areas. So I think a lot of positive things is going to be coming from that. Hopefully during this launch event, they do talk on as far as this mid-size SUV. So again, that is going to be a very, very exciting thing. Eric Bach did talk on this, and ultimately it's going to be around the 50,000 price point. That's what Peter did say in an interview. In this though, which came out, I believe, a couple months ago, give or take, but this is where they do say it's going to be 2025, 2026. But in the Q3 earnings, they do say right at the end right here on how it's going to be late mid-decade. So maybe not necessarily the 2025 target, but it could possibly be 2027, 2028. But at the end of the day, hopefully they do push this as far as a little bit more of a priority. Keep in mind, this mid-size SUV is going to get a lot of demand piggybacking off of the Gravity. So definitely it's very much positive in the right direction. And outside of that though, just more so looking at the technicals, we've had a very nice rally over the last couple of days, largely because of CPI data. So that definitely is a very positive thing. At the end of the day, I know there's a lot of people out there want to know, is this actually sustainable or all that fun jazz? In my own personal opinion, I feel that we will continue this rally up despite us going from the lower to the higher central boiling band, and also possibly even testing that damn 58-day moving average that we always have a lot of difficulty with. I do anticipate that we continue very much green until possibly Wednesday. Wednesday, we do have retail sales. And I think out of the last couple economic data, when it's been revolving around consumers, in general, it's shown a little bit more underlying cracks within the economy. So depending on the data, when it comes down to this, hopefully it will be very much positive, giving the broader market a nice, very much needed rally. And if so, then we can get over this 50-day moving average. So that's some things that you need to factor in as far as what might be coming from the economic data that may influence Lucid's price. Outside of that, hopefully I do anticipate a little bit more analysts jumping on board. We did roughly have about, I think, 7 different analysts join us during our Q3 earnings. So clearly showed some interest, or a very big interest if you want to call it that, in Lucid, whether it be our discounted value or us ramping up finally. I think definitely it's going to bring a lot more analyst ratings to us. And technically we did get one yesterday. So Cantor Fitzgerald did reiterate their overweight rating, gave us an $18 price target, which is pretty good. But previously it was 23. So they did cut it a little bit, but 18 is still relatively good. I know a lot of you will still be very excited at that stage. So definitely let me know your thoughts on that. But keep in mind, will be very interesting to see if Adam Jonas as well, because Adam Jonas did join us during the Q3 earnings. So I think that's a very interesting thing to see if he does reiterate his typical $12 price target, or if he does decide to finally bump it up. Let me know your thoughts on that in the comments below. What is big money doing behind the scenes? I'm going to give you a good breakdown. Just based on Friday alone, this is all the dark pool transactions that's been happening. So you do see some pretty big ones after hours on Friday, which typically is a little bit more abnormal, because after hours on Friday, nobody's really trading, especially more so it being on Remembrance Day, a holiday. So I think these are very big ones that you need to watch for. So 1.4 million, 1.64 million. And I guess on a side note, I should just cross it off your guys' minds right now. These are not shorts closing out the positions. I did cross-reference that with the shorts and everything like that. And fortunately enough, these are not shorts closing out the position. These are actually long positions. So that's a very positive thing. Let me know your thoughts on that. But 1.4 million, 1.64 million, and even outside of that, these are all the transactions from today. Almost 250 transactions that did occur on the dark pool. So you do see some pretty other large ones. So 2.98 million, 2.1 million. In general, I think this has been a nice growing trend ever since our earnings as well, that we've seen a little bit more institutions getting into Lucid. So whether that's something big coming, I'm not sure. Based on the options activity as well, it does seem to be very positive as well. A little bit more mixed today in particular, as far as bull and bear. It's been a little bit more divided, so 40%, 44% as you can tell. But I'm very much excited about everything, and even more so, like I said, looking at the technicals. I'm a big technicals fan, and stochastic, we do have no defined trend right now, but it is still very much low. So 33, so potentially still oversold. Momentum, number of retail investors have been getting in ever since our earnings. So that's definitely a very positive sign. Goes to show, and it's a little bit more rejuvenating as far as the discounted level that we are at in comparison to what they did say in the actual earnings. Because I know based on the earnings wasn't necessarily the best. There was some a little bit more of a red flags popping up, but it does go to show, if you're going to compare those data points on a quarter by quarter basis, they are definitely showing very much needed improvement. So that's a very good takeaway. Like I said, when it comes down to a newer company such as Lucid, you have to take things with a grain of salt, if that saying makes sense at all. But again, it's a long-term investment. That's what I always like to get across to you guys. You have to look at improvements. I know they're not going to be producing 10,000 vehicles every single month at this time. I know everyone who's watching this would absolutely love that, and obviously the stock price would just go up like 10, 12x based on that alone, but that's not realistic. That doesn't happen, especially more so with Lucid's actual high level of quality in its vehicles. But overall, I gave you a quick summary of things that will be influencing Lucid's price, at least in the short term. I'm most excited about this launch event, especially considering as well they're going to be talking on some business as far as surprises that might come, and that's technically already outside of all their showcasing of the Gravity and also the air trims and all that fun jazz. So who knows? They might be announcing a partnership. I'm not really sure. There's a lot of people clearly on Twitter that is talking consistently about an Apple partnership. So I might be doing a quick video on that tomorrow, whether that is still feasible given the recent Q3 earnings and all that fun stuff. Let me know in the comments below if you would be liking a Lucid Apple partnership video, and if that is still realistic given this where we are at. If you haven't already, hit that thumbs up and subscribe is always greatly appreciated. If you do like my channel and support the growth, take a look at my memberships, link in the description below, or just hit the join button at the bottom of the screen. With that said, I appreciate you guys watching. Let's all make a lot of money on Lucid.